Folks, they're trying to silence me. They're trying to silence me once again. Not only to President 45, okay, but also to the political Latino. This is his sixth live, and he's been banned or canceled for speaking truth. For speaking truth. Just for speaking truth.
But folks, yeah, I mean, on a serious note though, this is like the sixth live I've tried to do. The internet keeps going down, and then like the whole thing crashes, and I don't know what's going on. So I had to turn on my cellular mobile hotspot signal in order to put my laptop with some internet because I keep getting Xfinity to boot me out. And I've already heard from several cases and several people that this does happen. And coincidentally, it's always at the time when you're about to or saying something that the big wigs in the top don't want you to tell anyone else. Because what a coincidence that the title of this video is exactly what you're reading, which is that we're gonna go over some stuff from history that proves and shows why we are where we are now here in 2021 and why it is the way that it is. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I made sure everything is correct now because man, these people were trying to mess with me. So I'm gonna talk in keywords because for the most part, I'm gonna be talking news. I like talking news, but the thing with the news, folks, the thing with the propaganda that I see a lot of YouTubers do on the platform, man, is they talk a lot about the news, man. But I like to keep it 50-50, like my drink. 50% news and 50% truth. You cannot just talk about 100% truth and expect for people to wake up, man. You gotta talk 50% truth and 50% news with three limes in the middle, man. Bacardi Lime, Topo Chico mixed, my go-to drink for years. All right, folks, let's get into it. Let's get started. And if you hear a generator coming from the back, I got my old pop sleeping on the couch, folks. He's knocking out in my house. He's got him on the couch. And he's snoring like a beast. He is a beast. We're all beasts. But good people, good people in the war against misinformation, folks. For the righteousness, for the good Lord. All right, guys. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and pop over here the information, which is coming from a website that's called, just bear with me, Foreign Affairs Intelligence Council.files.wordpress.com. So this is gonna be a good one. This is coming from School History, schoolhistory.co.uk. Let's read it. Let's do something different for once, folks. Let's read something that's not coming from America. Let's go ahead and see what some people from educators and teachers from the United Kingdom have to say about this little operation that took place in the US of A. Sometimes we gotta look out into other news from other parts of the world to understand why this country is the way it is. It's very much why I follow places like Sky News Australia because they bring you news that CNN and MSNBC and CBS and all that stuff will not cover. They don't even cover the real stuff. They're too afraid to say why they don't cover the real stuff. You guys might be wondering why don't they cover, folks, they don't cover the news like CNN. All of them are dirty, and I'm not gonna say it, but even Fox is a little stinky. A little stinky, just a little stinky. But they don't say the real stuff because they're afraid of and again, this is all coming from what this is right here, which is Operation Twitter Bird. This is the sixth life, folks. I mean, I'm getting real sick and tired of this. I made sure that the internet will not fall, because it's connected with my phone. But I believe that they keep continuing to take out the internet so that I don't share with you guys the information that I have known for a while, ages, decades now. And and they're ready to get it, man. They're gonna get ready to get it, man. To see where I come from, man. We take out the pigs to the back right before we put them on the grill. We take them to the field. We take them to the grass. We take them to the pretty cows. And right before we cook them, and we do what we gotta do, we first go ahead and do this, man. If you don't wanna do this to the piggy piggly wiggly, man, then you're not gonna eat for dinner and your family, man. So you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Okay? Okay. Alright, folks. Operation Twitter Bird. Key facts and summary. Operation Twitter Bird indicates the CIA's involvement in the manipulation of the news published in the United States and across the world. Today, one can identify such manipulation with
Fake news.
Operation Mockingbird commonly refers to the CIA's involvement in journalism during the 1970s.
And folks, this is why I'm into journalism. This is why I'm doing the bigly news. So that I can go ahead and bring you guys the extracted truth from the mainstream media lies.
Um, and so pretty much, yeah, bro, guys, Operation Mockingbird is a CIA involvement of, interrupting with folks like me, Out of the Darkness, Nick Mositer, Big Easy, CanCon, General Flynn, the Political Hub. I mean, you got a lot of channels out there. The Tatum Report. You got ABL. That do news like I do. Josiah Rises. You got all those guys. Tim Pool, Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder is probably the best example for this scenario where he is a target of journalism of the 1970s, guys. Okay, so the CIA, and then okay, so let's continue on. Number three, the CIA bribed students as well as established journalists and reporters to write a CIA version of the events. Okay, next bulletin point. Senator Frank Church established the Church Committee in order to investigate government operations and potential abuses. And the last bullet point. The CIA admitted their manipulation of mainstream media in order to change the American people's mind and published the family jewels. Guys, I'm telling you right then and there. I mean, I can go ahead and close out the stream right now, call it a day, say screw it. I'll continue drinking, go and have a smoke and light up the grill because I'm getting hungry and I'm gonna eat probably like in 45 minutes, and let's just end it right there, guys. But because I love y'all so much and I want y'all to know the truth, it's why I'm doing this, man. And I need fellow soldiers to go in on the battle with me, man. I need fellow patriots to go in the field with me so we can take them to the field, so we can take them to the grass, so we can do what we gotta do and exterminate the roaches, man. Alright, but yeah, bro. The CIA admitted their manipulation of mainstream media in order to change the American people's mind. I was walking today to a Quick Trip, which is right next to my house. It's literally right next to my house. So I took a little joggy jog. I need the exercise anyway. I'm pretty husky. So I went ahead and did that. Very beautiful outside.
Very gorgeous. The weather is beautiful, folks. Perfect for golfing. I recommend it.
So I went to the gas station. I hear this guy talking to another guy, talking about, I just took the first shot of the Moderna vaccine. Okay, so they took the first shot of the Jabula. And after the first shot of the Jabula, they were like, yeah, now I gotta take the second shot of the Jabula. And this and that. And I just looked at him with this face right here, like, why, bro? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that to yourself? Why do you want to die so bad, man? Okay. I'm starting to use words that they don't allow. Continuing on. Overview. The idea of a large organization controlling the brains and thoughts of individuals, pushing them towards a specific ideology. Oh, geez, no kidding. Like operation, like what's going on with the whole LGBTQ stuff, like what's going on with that whole thing, right? That's exactly what you guys are trying to do with indoctrinating our children with reading stuff, you know, that has to do with apolitical stuff, like with the LGBTQ people, right? The alphabet people, and having them accept something that is not even really them or what it is. Okay, so the idea of a large organization controlling the minds and thoughts of individuals, pushing them towards a specific ideology, just like they keep saying about, black people are oppressed and they're living in the oppression. It's a complete farce. It's a complete lie. It's a complete lie, folks. They're not suffering. They're not oppressed. The only ones that think that they are the lazy ones that don't even want to do anything for themselves or their families. That's who they're targeting. That's their target, not the individuals like Anthony Brown Logan, who have a good, beautiful home, Brandon Tatum, who take care of their families, have kids, are professionals, work hard to maintain that. They're targeting the dumb individuals from the urbanizations that are, that probably the richest person in there makes $10,000 a year. And those are the folks that they're targeting, because they know that the rest of the population will not fall for that. So they need as much manpower as they can in order to back up their ideas. Okay, so let's continue on. Uh, and let me read it over again because I derailed so long. And I'm sorry, guys. This is just me and my channel. I derail, but I'm funny and I try to get back into topic. ADD, I don't take pills. I don't believe in it, but I do believe in liquor. A alcoholic. Only on the live streams, not on anything else. And because it's Saturday night, folks, come on, live a little. All right, so overview. The idea of a large organization controlling the minds and thoughts of individuals, pushing them towards a specific ideology and certain life choices, may seem as science fiction or as an absurd conspiracy that can be found in books and in movies. However, for some, it is certainly not a new, surprising discovery that corporations, organizations, and politicians manipulate public opinion in order to fit certain agendas. Again, folks, this article is coming from the United Kingdom, not the USA. I like to get my news from outside of the USA in order to find out what's going on in the USA. Let me repeat that again, folks. I like to find out information from other countries about the USA, not the ones coming from the USA. Okay? That's how you get manipulated. That's how you fall in the trap. Continuing on. These are in their turn manipulated by even bigger and more powerful organizations, such as the government itself. The CIA controlling and manipulating civilians' minds is not fiction. It is a conspiracy turned out to be true during the 1970s in the USA. And if you guys don't know about Operation Twitterbird, let's go ahead and get started, folks. It's gonna be a doozy. Um, the CIA controlling and manipulating civilians' minds, again, guys, comes all the way since the 1970s. This isn't anything new. This is everything that has to do with a certain specific task that they're trying to achieve before a certain time. But step by step, guys, step by steps. I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna continue to do videos for y'all, and I'm gonna continue to expose the rats and the roaches so you guys can be aware and exterminate them on sight. And by that I mean with information, not violence. I don't condone it. However, founding fathers did give us the rights for a two-way, folks, and we gotta use it. We gotta use it. Okay. So continuing on. The following okay, so here it goes. Following the Second World War, the Central Intelligence Agency, also known as CIA, was able to gain control over what was being published not only in the USA but more in general across the globe. It exerted much influence over what the public should be allowed to see and what should be concealed. In essence, it ruled what the public saw, heard, and read on a regular basis, says Tracy from 2018. Operation Twitterbird is a United States CIA campaign that aimed not only to influence the media, but also infiltrate it. Since the 1950s, the CIA started recruiting journalists, editors, and students in order to write and promulgate false stories. The CIA's stories were entirely propaganda, and their employees were paid huge salaries in order to promote such fake news. Essentially, the CIA managed to control both national and international newspapers through a bribe. During the 50s, Kurt Meyer and Alan W. Dulles devised and organized a propaganda outreach program. They recruited leading American journalists into a network in order to promulgate the CIA's views. So, wow, guys, the CIA pretty much gathered up journalists, editors, and they were students at the time, to work for them essentially to write false stories that fit a certain narrative. And we're talking about the 1950s, family. Wake up, sheep. Bah. Okay? This goes way back in my day. Back in my days, I see. Look, man, look seriously, folks. This goes with all the way back to the 50s. So we're in 2021. So we're essentially talking about how many years now? How many years we're talking, man? How many years has this whole thing been going on for, man? Just tell me the keyword, bro, and I'll go ahead and handle it, man. You see what I'm saying? I will help you, man. You tell me when the time, you tell me when the day, you tell me what the location, and I'll be right there with the rest of the crew to take them out, bro. Alright, so this has been going on since the 1950s. We're in 2021, which means it has been going on since at least 70 years. Okay, so this whole thing, this whole charade that they're trying to pull over us now, it's failing. It's failing, and they're not gonna win because they're not gonna win. So again, we continue with the information over here. Okay, the CIA went to the extremes of funding students, cultural organizations, and I think by cultural they mean Black Lives Matter and Antifa, and magazines that would spread the CIA's views and events. Nowadays, we call them Instagram and Facebook, Snapchat and Parler. Yes, even them. However, the suspicion that the CIA could manipulate public opinion arose between 1972 through 1974 due to the Watergate scandal, which we all know was caused by Richard Nixon, which exposed President Nixon's involvement in the war in Vietnam. Like Bush has been found to have been involved in 9/11, like Obama has been known to have been involved with the Middle East wars, just like it's happening now. Folks, you gotta wake up, folks. If we don't wake up, who's gonna wake up for us? If we don't love our country, we're gonna lose it, folks. We're gonna lose it. We don't wanna lose our country. It's a beautiful country. Let's not lose it, folks. But pretty much, wow, guys. I mean, this stuff has been going on for far too long, and we are done with the roaches. They're exposing themselves. The rats are coming out to gather up the cheese, and we gotta stomp on them when we see them because, of course, not through violence, but through information so the public can get them. All of us united, we stand together. That's why they're trying to divide and conquer. Divide and conquer, folks, is their only one strategy in order to, get us to comply so they can be safe. But we're not. We're not. We're gonna do everything we can to make sure that we win. That we win. And we're winning, guys, because it has been going on for so long that they think that we're not, that they think we're stupid. That's the thing, folks. They think we're stupid, man, and that we're not gonna fight back. They think we don't have balls, man. They think that we're just sitting behind the corner, crying somewhere in the room like a freaking liberal if Justin Bieber doesn't get a concert on the weekend, man. Okay, we're tough, man. We got everything we need, man. You don't know where we come from. These people think that we're playing.
We're not playing, man. We don't play around these parts. And if they continue to do what the founding fathers warned us of them doing, then we're gonna have to take it up, man. And we're gonna have to teach the people a lesson, man. Because we don't play, man. Okay? And they don't get it through the thick heads, man. And we're gonna have to come for them, man. And we don't want that because they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. But it's okay too. They gotta take some with them, man. We can't have it all to ourselves now. All right, guys. Continuing on here with the article. So so far the CIA went to the extremes of funding students and cultural organizations and magazines, aka propaganda. What we see now with Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, articles like Teen Vogue, which came out with something about teaching how they can use 12 to through 17-year-old girls, how they can use menstruation in order to write freaking stuff on the floor with pentagrams and things like that and blood. And it's like, whoa, dude, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you teaching all these kids that, man? And everybody wants to talk on YouTube about, like, what I call them. I call them ranters. I rant a little here and there because it's good. But when you rant the whole show, it defeats the whole purpose of, wait a minute, like, why are we here? All right, to learn, to find out and figure out why we find ourselves in the situation that we find ourselves in now, folks. Okay, which is this whole thing that I'm bringing you. 50% news, 50% rabbit hole. That's my motto. Everybody else on YouTube, 100% news. My motto, 50% news, 50% rabbit hole, which equals to the truth. Okay, so the suspicion that the CIA could manipulate public opinion arose between 1972 and 1974 due to the Watergate scandal. So they started testing out this stuff since like the 1970s, guys, since Richard Nixon. So that's why we have to look at history. We cannot just focus on the things that are happening now. What we have to do is continue to focus on what's happening now with history attached to that ideology that's living in your brain matter. Because the only way to get out of this situation and to know exactly what's going on is to be able to decipher the lie, to extract the truth, okay? So between 1972 and 1974, the CIA thought that they could manipulate public opinion, and it started with the Watergate scandal during the President Nixon's presidency, which was of his involvement in the war in Vietnam. And as you guys know today, China is trying to invade Vietnam once again. And they're testing out that theory with Biden in office, who is a weakling, sore loser. They didn't try it during President 45 because they knew he was a stronghold. Okay, so let's continue here with the information. And I read, in fact, Nixon had adopted two strategies, whereas on the one side he was employing aggressive strategies in order to try and appease North Vietnam. On the other, he was trying to appease the protests in the US by demonstrating through the press and the news that he was aiming to achieve a peace agreement and bring home the American troops. Folks, we're seeing that now with President Joe Biden. Okay, we're seeing that now with Puppet Biden. It's the same protocol. It's the same thing. The same thing, folks, that they have tried before and they're doing it now. They're trying to get people like Joe Biden, who is going to be exactly like a mix of Jimmy Carter and President Nixon. They're all reptiles, all in the swamp. They're all in the swamp. Because over here Richie Nixon tried to appease to the North Vietnam, right, while trying to appease to the protests in the U.S. And what do we find ourselves in right now? That we have a protests going on. What has been happening since we've had George Kirby, right, George Floyd. We've had the whole thing with Micaiah Bryant. We've had the whole thing with Anthony Bryant, not Anthony Bryant Logan.
Andrew Brown Jr. from from North Carolina, and all these other CIA operated stuff that has been going on for so long, folks, um, that we have forgotten that we 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 gotta remember these things, man. If they start to wash out the information, then who else is gonna tell it for us, man? Nobody. You're not gonna hear nobody talking about it, man. You're not gonna hear anybody out there taking the time to wrap up all this stuff and tell you what is going on, man. And tell you what is going on, okay? But we're ready for you whenever, man. The way the founding fathers, they gave us a little bit of scratch, and we're taking advantage of it, man. Okay. So that was Nixon's strategy. He adopted two strategies. One trying to appease to North Korea, I'm sorry, North Vietnam, and one to the protests. Okay, and that is exactly what Puppet Biden is doing now, trying to appease to everybody. Okay, let's continue on. When the truth about Nixon's Vietnamization was revealed, many started to question up to which point was the CIA enmeshed in the publishing of news and information. Slate 2018 had said. Moreover, during the Cold War, the CIA reported many prominent writers and artists such as Arthur Schlesinger and Jackson Pollock in their propaganda war against the Soviet Union, Washington 2017 had said. In 1977, Carl Bernstein published The CIA and the Media in the Rolling Stone. The article exposed much of the CIA's attitude towards the spreading of fake news and its tactic, as well as explicit collaboration with journalists. Bernstein explains how journalists did not limit themselves to write what the CIA suggested. The relationship was much more complicated and intimate, so they're in bed together. In fact, reporters shared their notebooks with the CIA. When does a reporter ever have to share their freaking findings with the CIA? You're investigating the same people that are trying to. And you give them your notebooks, you give them your findings, you stupid. Okay. Some of the journalists were also award-winning writers. Oh yeah, how much scratch and cabbage did they take home? I bet you saw them the next day with a couple of good Mustangs and trucks on their driveway. Possibly even a new house. I wouldn't doubt it. Yep, that's exactly right. So let's continue. In fact, reporters shared their notebooks with the CIA. Some of the journalists were also award-winning writers, and others became spies in the communist countries, just like we have now. We have a bunch of freaking spies, like freaking Solwell, who's in Congress, who's been dating that freaking chick from China. He's one of those. And then you got other people too in it, like the current president's son that they don't want to talk about, okay? And this is coming from Bernstein, who said it in 1977, man. Okay? So according to DICE, in 2016, more than $1 billion were being invested each year in such propaganda programs. Okay, the CIA's writers were generous. I'm sorry, guys. The CIA's writers were general. Oh my God, I can't say it for the life of me. Am I being hacked in my brain right now? Hold up, let me take another sip. This might help. My wife's not gonna like this. Well, she's out with my daughter right now, so screw it. I got some time right now. And then I got my old pop sleeping on the couch. If you guys are just joining in, by the way, let me just go over this real quick. I'm talking about the history of what happened before and why we find ourselves in the situation that we find ourselves in now. In order to understand why we are in the situation that we find ourselves in now, we must look at history and find out what happened back then in order to learn from that experience of what happened back then with the priors and why they're trying so hard to push it now. Okay, and I got my old pop sleeping on the couch, but that's neither here nor there. And I got, old wife and daughter out there. They're doing their thing. They're coming back probably like in an hour, and but I'll finish before then. So okay. In 1977, Carl Bernstein published. Oh, wait, I already read through that. Yeah, but I'll say it again. Screw it, because I need you guys to understand. In 1977, Carl Bernstein published The CIA and the Media in Rolling Stone. The article exposed much of the CIA's attitude towards the spreading of fake news and its tactic, as well as explicit collaboration with journalists. So basically, the CIA was working with journalists back in the day. That's why I don't trust people like sometimes like Tim Pool or Ben Shapiro. He's a great example. I don't trust Ben Shapiro. I think he's one of the CIA plants that's working along with the CIA, man, just to distract us from the truth, man. Although he's been spreading some good stuff, so I'm not judging yet. Hey, but whatever happens, man, okay, has to happen. Okay, so okay, according to Dice, in 2016, I'm not sure if they're talking about Mark Dice. Okay, I follow Mark Dice. I'm not sure if they're talking about Mark Dice. But we'll go ahead and assume that they're talking about somebody who's named Dice. Okay, but anyways, I digress. According to Dice, in 2016, more than $1 billion were being invested each year in such propaganda programs. Wow. Okay. You guys remember what happened in 2016 when we had the elections, right, of President 45? Okay. So they apparently invested over $1 billion in propaganda programs. Oh my God. This is the truth, folks. This is the truth, folks. Okay. They invested over $1 billion into propaganda programs right when President 45 and the witch were going against each other during that time. And apparently, this freaking agency was paying over $1 billion in propaganda. And it makes sense. It makes sense. Everything you saw on TV and the newspapers and magazines had to do with the whole thing about President 45 being the one in the swamp when he was really all the time the other way around, which we knew, which is why we voted for President 45, guys. Okay, let's continue. The CIA's writers were generously retributed, so basically they were awarded. And there were no limits on how much they could receive. So basically, these journalists were like, give me $100 million, CIA, so that I can talk crap about, basically they have built such a reputation. And we'll put CNN as an analogy. And because they had the power and influence of over hundreds and thousands and billions and billions and billions and billions of people, they were able to tell the CIA, hey, yo, bro, let me get, Chico, let me get $100 billion, man. Cho, what you mean, bro? What you mean you want $100 billion, man? Cho, man, I got like 100 billion followers on my stuff, man. Okay, so what I want you to do is that if you want to get the message across, man, you can chop around. You can take it to Fox. You can take it to ABC. You can take it to CBS. You can take it to MSNBC. But we're CNN, bro. Okay, we got over 100 trillion thousand people watching us, bro. Okay, so if you want us to tell them something that we wouldn't normally do, then you gotta have to pay up, man. Then the CIA walks in and they're like, okay, man, just give me a second, bro. Let me check in with the lieutenant, man. Okay. Bring, bring. Yeah. Hey, man, we got good old Brian Stelz over here asking for about $1 million. Go ahead, do it. What do you mean? Go ahead and do it. All right, boss. You're the boss. Hey, man. Were you able to get the money, or were you able to not get the money, man? Now relax there, CNN. Listen, Brian. Brian Stelter, I'm trying to tell you right now.
I've got the approval of good old boss. He told us we're gonna wire you right now that $100 billion, and you're gonna be a free man, bro. So then Brian Stelter went and said, "Too good, man. We're gonna have a deal. Pinky promise. Pinky promise. You're gonna be a good guy, man. I'm gonna influence 100,000 billion people, okay? Because we already have built them up. And we're gonna tell them whatever you want us to tell them, man. That's the deal, man. Okay? No dirty, funny work. That's just how it's gonna be, man." And those of you just tuning in, I have to talk like that because if not, then the machines are gonna get to me and they're gonna cancel me. So in order to avoid and derail them from that, then I have to talk, like this. So bear with me, guys, okay? But let's go ahead and continue. When the CIA was caught in their wrongdoings, they did not reveal the newspapers and the names of the journalists with whom they had collaborated in the past, says Harrock, 1976. Typical CIA. Typical CIA, where they just go and review and work with people of the public, like journalists, and collaborate and don't do any and look, man, the whole thing where they even had to, what I'm saying, they pay. Man, wow, they use this people's platform, right? If I thought, let me give you an example. If Steven Crowder was for the left today, 2021. And because of his following and his subscribers, he would be offered a certain amount, and a certain amount of money that the CIA could not refuse because of the amount of followers that he has. So because the CIA need to send out a message across, they would have probably gave Steven Crowder somewhere in the 100 million billion dollars just to have him send out that kind of stuff. Why do you think the freaking CNN, MSNBC, CBS, and all those other channels all talk about the same damn thing? Because they're being paid through the CIA to manipulate we the people with our taxpayer money. They're manipulating us with their own money, and most of you don't even see that. It's a damn shame. So we now go to Georgia Juba with the weather. It's looking like it's 82 degrees outside, and it's really, really sunny, but really, really dry. Really, really dry. If you guys catch my drift. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is the way I gotta talk in order for the machines not to get me, because if I start saying too much stuff that this platform does not want you guys to hear, then I could get canceled. But let's continue on. However, in 1973, the Washington Star published the names of around 3 dozens of American journalists. So basically, in 1973, a newspaper publisher went ahead and put the names of the journalists that were working with the CIA in order to promote and push a propaganda onto we the people, because the Washington Star was like, nah, man. We're not gonna take this, man. Okay? We're journalists. We're supposed to take the truth, man. We don't work for the commie bastards in the government, man. So if you think that we're just gonna lay down in the grass with the cows and look at the pretty flowers, then you got everything wrong, man. Okay? We're not gonna follow the orders. Okay? We're special people. And what we wanna do is we wanna make the world a better place, man. Okay? For future generations. And that's it, man. Okay, continuing on. Wow, so that's very interesting right there. In 1973, a newspaper article went ahead and put the names of those journalists on blasts. And guess what I'm doing right now with you guys in 2021? I'm putting out Brian Stelter, Wolf Blitz, Anderson Pooper, Don Lemonhands, Rachel Madcow. I'm calling all you mother flippers on this stuff, because exactly the same thing that happened in the 1970s with the information is what is happening now, and it is a damn shame. Okay.
Let's continue on. Church committee and actions to prevent the CIA's involvement in the news. During the 1970s, the Church Committee was created by Senator Frank Church in in order to investigate any in government operations and potential abuses carried out by the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, and even the IRS. Guys, these are alphabet agencies that have been ruling over we the people for so long that we have forgotten, folks, where we come from. The reason why they're doing this now, it hasn't started from today. It's been ongoing. But this is why you see stuff like when they raid Rudy Giuliani's house. And instead of looking into Hunter Biden, they're looking into Rudy Giuliani. It's because these roaches in government, these establishment alphabet agencies, have been ruling over we the people, trying to infiltrate and manipulate our thoughts and minds since even before the 1970s, all the way back to like the 1950s. But if we're being even more truthful, it's probably since like the early 1800s, probably somewhere after right around the 1900s, they started getting a little bit of a clue of what the deal was. And imagine in 2021 where they're in where they lie right now, okay, where they are in their heads. They're like 50 years ahead. They know exactly what they're doing, but they're failing, folks. They're failing, so don't worry. Don't worry. They're failing. Uh, but I mean, it's very interesting that this has been ongoing on for so long, and nobody even knows this. This is information that's coming directly from the handbook, directly from the handbook. Okay, and I'm so proud and so happy that you guys are joining in, and that you guys are looking at this, and that you guys are gonna get to look at it later. Obviously, I just have one fan right now, one viewer, Lisa M. Thank you very much. I saw your comment. You're one of my first here in the comments. Okay, but don't worry, we're gonna get to 1,000, over 5,000 views in one day with time. I just started 7 days ago, so according to Google, I'm actually doing really, really, really good. Let's continue on here with the article. In 1973, okay, let me repeat and let me go ahead so you guys can hear it clearly. If you were distracted by my stupidness, then let me go ahead and repeat right after this sip of Bacardi. That's some good drink too. If you guys don't know about this drink, you're missing out, man. But I'm Latino from Miami. And out there, we don't do the things that we're not really supposed to do, man. We drink all day, we party on the weekends. And if the government overreaches, we send them to Fidel Castro. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. You guys put up so much with me. All right, look. Okay, okay. One more sip and I'm going to start again. This is a real doozy, folks. It's a real doozy. And this is why I had to do this, guys, because I was trying so hard on YouTube to find somebody who can talk about the news, but also give us the rabbit hole. YouTube is full of people who just recite the news. Let me repeat that. YouTube is full of people who just recite the news and give their small minded opinions on the matter because it's effective enough to bring in a large amount of people and be able to sell you guys off to YouTube for some good, cabbage. I don't care about cabbage. I work in construction. I'm my own boss. I'm the one who hands out the checks, but I also know a lot about this stuff because I've been doing it since I was 12 as far as information goes, and I want you guys to know the entire reality and the truth of what's going freaking on. I don't think you guys have experienced or have known somebody like this in the platforms.
And they're gonna let me slide. YouTube has been putting me in the front pages because I also put comedy with it. If it was all just ranch like salty cracker, then I'd be banned. I'd be banned, folks. Completely 100, bigly, wiggly, banned.
That's why I have to do all of this, uh, in order to bring you guys the truth, because this platform does not kick you out if you're being funny. It's weird how it works, but I did my research, and you gotta say it like every now and then. I don't know the exact algorithm, but I'm cracking it.
I'm cracking it, folks. I'm cracking out the algorithm, and it's working. It's working. Because in order for me to tell you guys the news, I gotta go ahead and do it like this. But it's okay.
Alright, folks, we're getting ready here to go to the last few pieces of information. In 1973, the CIA published Family Jewels, a book which exposes all of the information that had been hidden and or manipulated through the years. The book is around 700 pages long,
which I'm more than willing to read, folks. I'm more than willing to read. 700 pages. It's nothing.
Moreover, in the same year, the director of the CIA from 1973, William E. Colby, stated that, and I quote, CIA will undertake no activity in which there is a risk of influencing domestic public opinion, either directly or indirectly. The agency will continue its prohibition against the placement of material in the American media. In certain instances, usually where the initiative is on the part of the media, CIA will occasionally provide factual, non-attributable briefings to various elements of the media, but only in cases where we are sure that the senior editorial staff is aware of the source of the information provided, says Slate 2018, citing Mr. Colby, William E. Colby, a senior staff editor. So this is how they. So apparently this is how they get people, folks. The CIA buys off the journalists, and then they gotta get the approval from the staff editor. But as long as they get paid a little extra cabbage, then they're like, I'm gonna go ahead and look around the other way. And this is why CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and all these other mainstream media news are able to get away with what they get away with, because they're being paid by the Central Intelligence Agency. Since the 1970s, this has been going on. This isn't anything new, folks. The only reason I've been telling you guys is because I love humanity. I love you all. I want y'all to wake up and know the truth. I'm sick and tired of holding all this knowledge and information in my soul to myself and living a life where I'm like, I need to tell the people. But if I tell the people, then I'm going to have a problem. And if I have a problem, I don't want to get found. And if I want to get found, then we're going to have a problem. And I'm talking to you, alphabet agencies of the government, of the gubernatorial department. If I get found, if I get the luga luga lubala, then we're going to have a problem, man. Because then we're going to come for you. Okay? Okay. But continuing on with the news, here we go. In 1975, the CIA admitted their manipulation of mainstream media in order to forge and redirect the opinions of American citizens. They admitted that information was distorted in order to fit specific agendas, following a report published by the U.S. Congress in 1976, and I quote, "The CIA currently maintains a network of several hundred foreign individuals around the world who provide intelligence for the CIA, and that at times attempt to influence opinion through the use of covert propaganda. These individuals provide the CIA with direct access to a large number of newspapers and periodicals, also known as today Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, scores of press services and news agencies, radio and television stations, commercial book publishers, and other foreign media outlets. I am not a paid puppet for the CIA, and if I ever were to be bribed, I would kindly decline and then go ahead and show them my 2A, because that's the only way that the founding fathers would have told us, go ahead and protect your rights. By the way, if you guys have been listening to my anchor voice for the past 66 or 7 seconds, then I'm sorry to inform you that the actual thing stopped after I said Slate 2018 citing Colby. I'm sorry, media outlets. I consider myself media, but, I'm not sure. But anyways, I love you guys. I love you guys. Saying we're over here just talking about what you guys need to hear about. Because, man, this goes all the way back to the day, man. This goes back all to the way, back to the day, man. Back to the wild, wild west, man. When you had the horses, you had the little ponies, you had the good cowboys, as you guys call them, the good old boys. You had the good men sitting on top of the horses, okay, and defending the town. And now what do you have? You have a bunch of Albert Fed agencies going against you and we, the people, okay. All right, but let's continue. Although in 1975, George H.W. Bush publicly ended the CIA relations with the U.S. Yeah, right. He was probably one of the. Come on now. Come on now. All right. Although in 1975, George H.W. Bush publicly ended the CIA relations with the U.S. media, the CIA is still actively involved with foreign news organizations. Is that why they spread so much lies about their own country in other countries? Because it's all done throughout the CIA, aka the Central Intelligence Agency. I mean, the Central Intelligence yeah, the Central Intelligence Agency in 1975. I mean, could George Bush have been actually against it, and maybe he was just forced? I mean, because it says here that although in 1975 George H.W. Bush publicly ended the CIA relations with the United States media, the Central Intelligence Agency still actively involved with foreign news organizations. So what does that mean? That the CIA went around the back of President George W. Bush, right? And still went ahead and propagated fake news to all these other countries about themselves and us. Okay, because this whole time I'm thinking that George H.W. Bush is a swamp, is a rat, is a reptile. But if the fact of the matter is that maybe he was just going against what we are going against, but he was forced by hand, metaphorically and possibly physically, then you're telling me that he had no power either? So do the presidents not hold any power in the United States of America? Okay, I don't know that. Maybe they don't. Perhaps we've been duped into thinking that the president is just a figurine in front of we the people, and the real people behind that is some very bad people, folks. It's some very bad people. Some bad hombres. But we're gonna get them, and we're gonna win bigly. But that actually is kind of like crazy because, wow, man, I didn't know that. I didn't know that George Bush publicly had ended the CIA's relations with the U.S. media. but then they still went ahead and and worked with, foreign news organizations for what? For what? What's the CIA doing in another country? Trying to spread their information, man. For what? Oh, so then stuff like Billy Gates can go into Africa and inject a bunch of Hindu people and African Americans, or I mean Africans, with an experimental medicine that might or might not work, and they might drop or not drop to the ground. But that's neither here nor there. So let's go ahead and continue with the article. And I'll repeat. Although in 1975 George H.W. Bush publicly ended the CIA relations with the United States media, the CIA is still actively involved with foreign news organizations, which in turn feed the United States media with information. I get it. I get it. If you guys don't get it, I can explain it. I've already explained it. You guys know. You guys know. Let's keep reading. Wow. I mean, wow, man. Wow. They're really asking for it, man. These organizations are really asking for it, man. We're going to get tired. We're going to get drained. We're going to feel a little sleepy. But we're going to come for you, man. Because we're getting sick and tired of this, bro. Okay? And we're not going to take it anymore, man. This is America first. And this is America last. If we don't go, nobody else goes. And if we go, then everyone else does too. We're going to continue fighting. And we're going to continue to protect the integrity of the media, man. All right. Continuing on with the information. Bush established, again, we're talking about George H.W. Bush, which was the father of George Bush. So George H.W. Bush, established that the CIA will not enter into any paid or contractual relationships with any full-time or part-time news correspondent accredited by any United States news service, newspaper, periodical, radio, or television network or station, said Slate in 2018. Wow, guys. They basically lied. They said they weren't going to enter into any contractual agreements or paid jobs from independent journalists. But what did they do? Yes, folks, you guys guessed it. You guessed it. You guessed it. They went ahead and paid journalists all this money to go ahead and influence their subscribers, as you would say back in the day, in order to push a certain narrative, aka agenda, into the population. Okay, let's continue on. We got a few pages left, guys. And then after this, I gotta go eat something. I'm hungry. I haven't ate all day. You guys have been fantastic. I love you all. Okay, I'm just here to tell you the news. 50% news. If you guys are just joining in, let me just remind you. This is a channel dedicated to 50% news and 50% rabbit hole with comedy featuring Donald Trump. Okay. And then you got the dirty Cuban, man. You got the dirty Cuban. But you gotta take a little bit of action too every now and then. So you understand what I'm trying to tell you, man. This isn't for the friendly hearted. It's a family show, man. But you gotta really have the huevos in order to understand what I'm trying to tell you, man. Okay? In order to binge the news, I gotta tell you folks just like this. Because if I don't, the machines will listening to what I'm saying. They will say, it's not comedy. It's actual truth. But we don't want you to tell it to the folks. So you're out of here. And that is why in Netflix you see stuff like Dave Chappelle being able to get away with a lot of things because they say stuff in a comedic way. And you know how they say the best way to get to people, is by telling them the information. Truth information with comedy. It's the only way to pass, folks. Okay, but let's continue over here. Okay, so a general suspicion took over the capital city. Now listen to this, guys. Okay, listen. You gotta listen to this, man. You gotta listen to this. Okay, a general suspicion took over the capital city. All conservative journalists and former CIA employees that had rapidly achieved recognition within the news were now regarded with mistrust, says Harrock. From 1976, folks, we are in 2021. So you're telling me that over 30 years ago, there was a suspicion in Capital City of all conservative journalists and former CIA employees, okay, that had gained quickly recognition that the news were now regarded as being mistrusted. What is happening now, folks? 2021, you have the CNN, the MSNBCs, the ABCs, the CBSs, all those mainstream media news outlets, okay, are doing exactly what 1976 had predicted, folks. We are talking about something more than 30 years later that we are, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, folks. This is Bombshell. Bombshell. Um, okay, let's continue reading the information. The same year, Senator Church published in his report that the CIA had a strong network composed of several hundred foreign individuals around the world that were dedicated to providing the Central Intelligence with misleading news, said Slate 2018. In fact, American journalist Scott Shane gives an account of his experience with the CIA. In 1979, he received the recruitment letter in which they expressed tentative interest in his qualifications, said Shane 2018. Shane declined the offer of collaborating with the CIA, and his file was placed in the inactive section of the files of the CIA, said Shane 2018. Wow, folks. So pretty much they actively recruit people like me and you and others to participate in their shenanigans, okay? And they would never let me tell you guys this information if it didn't come out this way. Because if it doesn't come out this way, folks, they were toast. We're toast, okay? They can listen in. But they don't listen to the buffoonery. They don't listen to the comedy. They're picking up continuous words. And that's how I'm able to get away, folks, from the machines. So thank you for listening in. Um and yeah, guys. So wow. Okay. So pretty much anybody that is invited to work for the big wigs that are manipulating you and don't agree to it are placed in an inactive file, but either way they still have your information, and that's what's wrong about the whole damn thing. Let's continue with the information, folks. According to Bernstein, 1977, the people that worked undercover for the CIA often were employed by the CBS, Time, the New York Times, the Louisville Courier Journal, the Copley News Service, ABC, NBC, Reuters, and so on. Moreover, hold up, let me just stop right there. Did they just say that Reuters is also part of the whole Central Intelligence Agency journalism investigational stuff? Bro, hold up, don't flip the eggs, don't put the oil on the stove, and do not put the pig on the grill. Are you telling me that I have been following Reuters for about 5 years now on my Instagram, on my Facebook, and on my phone, and reading their articles and eating it up like a freaking candy corn, right, when it's Halloween? And you're telling me that Reuters is also paid and provided and an actor for the Central Intelligence Agency? You gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta be kidding me, man.
And you know what we do to people like that in our country? I'll tell you what they do, man. Okay? First, we take you to eat a burger, man. Okay? We tell you to which one you wanna pick. You wanna pick number one. You wanna pick number two. Just pick a number, man. Okay? You wanna get the soda. You wanna get the Sprite. You wanna get the square. Just get what you want, man. Okay? Then we sit down. We go over the information. I'll tell you what I know. You tell me that it wasn't you. It's a whole lie. So then you get done with the dinner, like a fat piggy that you are. We take you to the van. We tell you we're taking you home. Okay? Then we take you to the woods, man. Okay? We take you to the woods. We take you to the grass. We tell you to live with the cows. We tell you to look at the pretty flowers. And then we do what we gotta do, man. Okay? Because if Reuters is gonna sell out, folks, okay, like the rest of these other people, okay, like Ben Shapiro, for example, okay, then then we're toast, folks. We're toast. We're totally, totally toast. Okay, totally, totally toast. Um, and I was one of those guys that actually followed Reuters for a while. I'm surprised myself. Should I unfollow them? I'm beginning to think that they're a freaking plant, man. Oh my god. Okay. Moreover, more continuing on with the information. Moreover, through and let me just start over for you guys that had just tuned in. I'm reading over here some military psyop stuff information that you guys need to read, man. I'm not playing around, man. You might think I'm playing around, man, okay? But we're not playing around when it comes to 2A, okay? We're not playing around when it comes to freedom, okay? I escaped, okay, from Hugo Chavez once in Venezuela. And I'm not gonna do it again in this country. Of the brave, of the free, of the belief that I was raised in, man, okay? I love you folks, but let's not get in the way of the things that we gotta do, man, okay? Or we're gonna come for you too, man. Alright, look. According to Bernstein, 1977, the people that worked undercover for the CIA often were employed by the CVS Time, the New York Times, the Louisville Courier, the Copley News, ABC, NBC, Reuters, and so on. Moreover, throughout the 1950s, the CIA invested much money in training their agents as journalists. So these people in the CIA were training their employees to act like journalists. That's why when I say that I think people like Ben Shapiro are freaking plants in this whole thing, I believe it as 100% true, man. Okay? If you don't think that Ben Shapiro is a plant, man, I'm gonna tell you something right now, bro. Okay? Ben Shapiro? He's a plant, man. He's a CIA plant. Okay? And he just wants to tell you what he wants to tell you, man, without actually telling you the truth, man. Okay? He's just giving you little bit of breadcrumbs to lay on the ground for you to come out the trap hole and eat a little cheese while they do what they gotta do, man. Okay? And that's how it works, folks. Okay, so the CIA invested much money in training their agents as journalists. Again, I repeat, okay, in the 1950s, the CIA invested a lot of money in training their agents as journalists, aka Tim Pool. According to members of the CIA, they were taught to make noises like reporters before being placed in powerful organizations, says Bernstein from 1977. Okay, folks. So with you guys gotta be careful of the shills out there, man. You guys gotta be careful, man. You guys gotta be careful of the news that you hear out there, man. Okay, you're not gonna hear something like this from anybody else, man. Okay, the only reason, okay, man, why I'm able to get away with this is the algorithm and the machines think I'm just having a comedy channel, but I'm telling you the truth, man, through comedy. Okay. So you gotta listen, man. You gotta listen real good, man. Because if I talk like one of these other chills, man, that I'm not over here participating into the same structure, into the same thing, then they cancel me out, man. They cancel me, they ban me, man. Okay? They don't want me to tell you guys. Okay, man. The reality of the truth, man. You guys are looking at the information. You guys looking at the screen. You guys gotta just read along with me. Okay? But you guys go ahead and listen to people like Ben Shapiro, man. Like Timmy Pool, man. They could just be a freaking chill, man. Okay? This has been going on since the 1950s, folks. Okay? This has been going on since the 1950s. Okay? And they're gonna get ready for the war, man. Okay? They're gonna get ready for the war, man.
Okay, continuing on with the information. In essence, mass media is able to implement manipulative strategies in order to alter global perception about events, people, and situations. Washington 2017, citing Davis 2008. Certainly, it would be naive to believe that the government has stopped paying journalists to spread this information. Washington 2017 has says the United States are often the first to spread the information in order to serve their own objectives. So they see us as objectives, man. Okay, the United States of America, man. They only see us as subjects, man. They only see us as little lab rats. Okay, okay. They want us to take the little jab or bula, right? They want us to comply. They want us to wear the muscle. Okay. They want us to see how far we go before they give in, before they take over, man. Okay. And we cannot continue to take over. We cannot continue for this, man. Okay. And if you're just joining in, I'm only talking like this because it's the only way to get behind the machines, man. Okay. If they detect comedy and funky sounds, okay, then they're not gonna deplatform me. Okay, the only reason you gotta check it out, man. The only reason is because I have cracked the YouTube algorithms, man. You gotta listen to my voice, man. Okay, everything I'm telling you, okay. To go ahead and to listen to these other guys and all these other people. People, you gotta listen to these other people. They're gonna tell you things that are being paid for by the CIA, okay? If not, man, then I wouldn't even be able to be here and tell you guys this, man, okay? So I'm telling you the truth. You guys see it in the screen. This is nothing but the truth, man. But the truth, man, okay? So you guys gotta get adjusted to what I'm telling you, man. With this accent, man. Because all this stuff right here, man, is straight up censorship, man, okay? For the news to come. But we're gonna get through it, man, okay? So let's continue, man. In essence, and I already know I went through this. I'm gonna read it again for you guys who are just tuning in. It's talking about the CIA, man. Okay, you guys can look at the video from the beginning to the end, so you guys can understand. Okay, why I'm telling you all this, cause I care about you all, man. Okay, other YouTubers, man, they gave you 100% news, man. Okay. They're too worried about their profits, man. They got families and stuff. I don't, I got my own too, but I don't. But the thing is, man, you gotta get the information out. If you know the information, you tell it out. If you don't know how to tell the information, man, then just keep it quiet, man. I'm talking to you all, guys, who are seeing me, okay, who spread the same information that I am, but you're not really telling you the truth, man. You're just hiding behind the screen, okay? To just be hiding behind the article, spreading the same garbage that the news media spreads without telling the folks the 100% information and the truth, man. Okay? I went through oppression, man. Okay? I had to come to this country to be free, man. You guys don't understand my story. That's why I'm a lone wolf, man. I get my own people, subscribers, to subscribe to my channel, man. Because they understand, man.
that not only am I funny, man, okay, but I gotta tell the information like this, man, the truth, the real information, okay, that the platforms will take down from you, but because you guys don't do it so good, okay, and some of you do, just a little bit, not too much, okay, too worried about your demonetization for the videos in order to make a lot of scratch. I don't care about the scratch, okay, folks? I have plenty of scratch myself in the backs, okay? I do very well, but I have all this information, okay? And I'm also pretty funny, so here I go with the information once again, folks. Uh, and again, those of you who are just tuning in, I got a generator running in the background, aka my dad. He's snoring in the couch, but we'll leave it at that. According to Bernstein, 1977, the people that worked undercover for the CIA often were employed by the CBS, Time, the New York Times, the Louisville Courier Journal, the Copley News Service, ABC, NBC, and Reuters, and so on. Moreover, throughout the 1950s, the CIA invested a lot of money in training their agents as journalists. Tim Pool! Ben Shapiro! According to members of the CIA, they were taught to make noises like reporters before being placed in powerful organizations, said Bernstein, 1977. In essence, mass media is able to implement manipulative strategies in order to alter, and I quote, global perception. Global perception, folks. This is where we're at. This is what's going on. It's all horrible and things are going down, folks. In essence, mass media is able to implement manipulative strategies in order to alter, and I quote, global perception about events, people, and situations, said Washington 2017, citing Davis 2008. Certainly, it would be naive to believe that the government has stopped paying journalists, and I quote, to spread this information, said the Washington Post, the Washington newspaper in 2017. Or rather, not the Washington newspaper, or was it the Washington newspaper? Yeah, it was the Washington newspaper, 2017. Okay, let's continue. The United States are often the first to spread information in order to serve their own objective, as Washington 2017 points out, and I quote, the government plants disinformation in American media in order to mislead foreigners. And I'll say it again. Uh, okay, I'll say it one more time for you guys to understand and get it through your freaking brains, okay? And I'll put on my news anchor voice so you know when I'm being serious and when I'm not. Here he goes. The United States are often the first to spread information in order to serve their own objectives. As Washington 2017 points out, the government plants disinformation in American media in order to mislead foreigners. So, guys, that is exactly what they are doing. The freaking roaches in government are did I just mute my own self? Hold on, let me just check real quick. No, it looks like I'm good. Okay. All right. So it looks like the US spread misinformation to our to we the people who they in their language call objectives, okay? And that is not right, man. That is not right because we're gonna come for you soon, man, okay? And if we come for you, then we're gonna come for the rest of you too, rats, okay? You're gonna scatter like a roach. You're gonna be exposed like a rat. And you're gonna pay the ultimate price, man. And you're not gonna like it, man. Because we're gonna come for you hard, man. And I'm talking to you alphabet agencies, man. Alright, so let's continue on over here. But basically, guys, the government does plant disinformation. People
in American media in order to mislead foreigners, aka, I mean, if you guys think about it, this country is made up of about like 73% immigrants. So who are they really targeting over here? The Caucasian Americans that were born here with generations in this country, or people who have been in this country for like the last 10, 20 years, such as myself. But I believe in the American dream, unlike the left who come here and try to destroy the country to make it like their own, which is why they evaded in the first place. And I'm sick and tired of that. And that's why I talk about this. Okay, guys. Well, wow. Okay. It was only 7 pages of information. Um, if you guys want, I'm gonna go ahead and copy this link right now. I'm gonna put it into my notepad, and then I'm gonna install it into the description box down below, so you guys can take a look at why mainstream media is the way that they are. Pretty much summary. Here's my conclusion. Here's my thoughts. Here's my opinion. The CIA has been getting away with all of this stuff for so long, folks. For very, very long. Since the 1950s, the CIA has infiltrated the American people's lives. Okay? And it's filled with very good people. Very, very good people. And the CIA wants to dismantle that. And we don't want to dismantle that, because then what's going to happen is that we're going to have to come and use the founding fathers as rights, man, that they gave us, okay? In order to protect ourselves and our family. But you guys don't understand, man. We don't want to do that, man. I'm talking to you liberals who you think you are, where you come with oppression, Marxism, and all, and Malcolm X. I don't know about Malcolm X, but I know about Fidel Castro. I know about Hugo Chavez, okay? I know about the regimes. I know about the communism. And if I start to smell it, and it's starting to stink a little, man, okay? Take out the garbage. Because if you don't, we're gonna have to take actions on our own selves, man. And you guys don't want that, okay? Not only do you not like these, okay? But we're gonna have to come for you, bro. And you don't want that, man. Cause I'm done running, man. Listen to my words, man. I'm done running, okay? 20, okay? For 21 years, man, okay? I could be my country. But because they took over the same way that you guys are taking over, are being taken over right now, man, okay? Then I got to protect my family, my wife, my 4-year-old daughter, man. I got to protect them, man, okay? So we're gonna take you to the grass, man. Okay? If you don't want to look at the pretty cows, then just stay out the business, man. But there you folks have it. I've got 30 seconds before the machines start listening in. Pretty much, yeah, man. The CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, is involved in all of this. They are the ones actively working with the journalists to try to dismantle us. And I know I said Tim Pool earlier, but I don't think it's really him in the whole thing. Again, the ones that they're talking about is CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, and I hate to say it, folks, maybe even Fox News, okay? I don't know about Fox News. Maybe. I know it's owned by the Murdoch brothers, but we just have to just give them the benefit of the doubt for now. They've been alright. Tucker Carlson's a good guy. He's a good guy, folks, okay? Tucker Carlson, he's a really good guy. Really good guy. Fantastic. Terrific guy. We go golfing. And I like Tucker Carlson. He's alright, but I also do listen to what they have to say, man, okay? I listen to what they have to say, man. Cause if they don't listen to the people, okay, man, then who they gonna listen to, man? Okay, okay, they're gonna have to listen to one or the other, man. Okay, and we're getting real sick and tired of this, man. Okay, too much going on, okay, man. Too much, too many. We're tired of it, man. I ran away once, man. Not running again, bro. Um, But yeah, guys, if you guys did not know, hey man, this is the work of the Central Intelligence Agency, aka foreign entity. A foreign entity comes knocking on my door. Its name is CIA, FBI, and Alphabet agencies. That's why they won't investigate Hunter Biden. They've been bought since 1950s. Epstein didn't kill himself. And chat, guys, the only way I can deliver the news, man, is by doing it like this, man. If I start talking normal, if I start talking like a news journalist, man, they're gonna take me down, man. They got machines that can decipher who's talking truth and who's talking what they want you to talk about, man, okay? But I do it with the comedy style, man. But you gotta listen to my words, man. Everything I'm telling you, man, you gotta listen to, man, okay? Because these people, these clowns in office, man, they're not playing around, man. Okay, and we're not gonna play around neither much longer if they continue, man. But they're scared, man. The roaches are scattering, man. The rats are exposing themselves, man. Okay, they know we're winning, man. Okay, don't let them take your freedoms, okay, man. I had to evade once. I'm not evading against, man. I'm here to fight, mother flippers, okay? Now you guys can go and listen to the rest of the YouTubers, man. Behizi, Nick Mosir, CanCon, great people, good people, great people, wonderful people. Dave Jose, wanna be American, and stuff like that. But they're not gonna tell you the good true news, man, because they're too scared, man. They're too scared, and they're not really American, and they haven't been through what I've been through, man. Okay, coming from a communal social country, man. Okay, so we gotta get down. We gotta get down now, man. Okay. So here's what I propose. Okay, from now on, you guys listen. If you want to me, okay, I'll bring you 100% the truth, man. From one who was actually oppressed, man, who had to escape the Chavez regime, man. Okay. The other guys, they're American, man. You're getting news from America within America, man. You want the real good news? You want the truth, man? You gotta listen to outside news, man, from other countries, man. Okay? Because if you listen to the news from your own country, man, okay, you're not gonna get the real news. You're gonna get the lies. You're not gonna get the facts. You're gonna get the pure lies, man. And those of you just tuning in, that's not how it talk. You gotta look into the beginning of the videos in order to find out why I'm talking like this. Misinformation is a real thing, and it is owned and operated by the big wigs like CNN, as ABC, and CBS News. And the CIA does not want folks, for guys like me, to talk to you guys about the news. This is why I gotta do it like this, because the machines, they're listening in, folks. Okay. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I'll go ahead and leave the description down below for the link so you guys can read it yourselves. And with that being said, if you enjoyed the show, make sure you give this a thumbs up to help with the algorithm for the front of the pages. Okay? Make sure you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments down below with the information that I have given you. And make sure that you subscribe for more content to come. Nothing but the truth and the whole truth. 50% media, 50% rabbit hole. With the combination, we can get to the truth. Thank you, folks, and have a good night. This is the Political Latino.